The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let their ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Hello! Hello. Of course I muted the stream. It's just that kind of day today. It's that kind of day, I'm afraid. The stream was muted. We're here now. Stop saying no sound. Stop saying no sound. It's working. It's just that kind of day, honestly. What was I saying? I was saying there's only 4 spots really up for grabs now. And we'll see later on. Hopefully the dog's fine. She has to stay overnight, so we'll see tomorrow, but she should be fine, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see. She had a vaccination basically on Tuesday, and since then she hasn't been right, so she's had like a reaction to it, and her, like, she can't walk properly all of a sudden, so I don't know if it's where she got injected or what, if she just happened to cause herself an injury the same day, but it seems like a bit of a coincidence. Anyway, she should be fine. We'll see tomorrow. She's staying overnight, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Udogi, yes, Udogi jokes, of course. But yeah, anyway, game week 10. My head is dazzling you. I don't know if I can probably turn the lights on. I need a makeup artist to come and help me with my streams. The lights are already down pretty much as low as they go. Sorry, so what am I saying? I've got 4 spots up for grabs. Someone just said, like, why do you hide them? I mean, it's mostly the main reason is because I just don't know exactly what I'm doing with those 4 spots. Like, I'm between like Bowen, Matoma, Diaby, Palmer, Adingra, Gay, Maguire, Taylor, and players like that. I mean, it'll probably be Matoma, Palmer, Taylor, and Gay. That'll probably be it. But I just want to be able to change it, because otherwise I show it all and then I change it and then people moan. Either way, people are going to moan. And I don't want to spend the whole stream talking about it, to be honest. Okay. She's a golden retriever. Thank you, Kenneth. Hopefully she's gonna be good anyway. I appreciate the concerns, but fingers crossed, should be fine. She's very young, so it's just just one of those things. Hopefully, we'll see tomorrow. Is Watkins captain too risky? No, I don't think he's the best captain, but I don't think it's that risky. Sheriff, hope all is well. Thank you very much. 2 options: A, Madison and Matoma; B, Son and Adingra / Palmer. Probably Son and Adingra, because I guess that's what I've done, right? If B, Adingra or Palmer, lean in Son, Adingra slightly. Yeah, I mean, Adingra was talked up a little bit by De Zerbi today. He kind of said that he can play right or left, and that he's playing well at the moment. So I quite like Adingra. I'm still not sure I'm going to go for him over Palmer, but also I'm not sure why either. Maybe because Palmer's on penalties, I guess, and long term he might be the slightly better option. But we march out for a while. Adingra does seem to be kind of next in line. And Brighton's fixtures are pretty good. I think it really depends what else I do with the team as well. I don't know how many risks I'm willing to take. Like if I go Matoma, like I'm even considering Nketiah. So if I go Nketiah and Matoma, I don't know if I also want Adingra as well. It feels like a bit of a risk. Money aside, why Gay over Maguire on wildcard? Because I think Crystal Palace defence is probably better, to be honest with you. And Gay's absolutely nailed on. I'm not 100% sure Maguire is. So that's it, basically. I think I don't know. I got to be honest. Game week 10 wildcard's been quite tricky. I think game week 8 wildcard basically picked itself. I mean, I wasn't on wildcard, so I mean, it would have been a bit different if I was tinkering the whole time, maybe. But I remember putting a draft together thinking there's not really too many spots that are up for debate here. Maybe the James Ward-Prowse spot, right? Because I think I had Gordon or Neto or something like that. Like that, maybe that spot. But the rest of the team has basically picked itself. This week, it seems a little bit more difficult. I mean, you can make it easier, of course, but do you know what I mean? It's like, do you have Matoma or do you have Diaby or do you have Bowen? Do you have Adingra or do you have Palmer? Do you go Maguire or Taylor? Do you go for, I don't know, is João Pedro and Nketiah all of a sudden worth a punt and players like that? It's just there's just a lot more to think about, I think, this week. And on top of all that, we've lost points in the last couple of weeks and we've probably got less team value as well. So fun times. I really need to. I'll tell you what. Doing a stream when you're trying to lock in a wildcards and you're not quite sure what you're doing is a bit of a nightmare because I need to do all the tinkering and just run it through and I'm just not sure. I don't know. I mean, João Pedro against Fulham instead of, like, if João Pedro starts today, if he starts this weekend, he's better than Palmer, right? I think he is. And then he's got Sheffield United at home in game week 12. Will he definitely start that one? Who knows? I guess I can't get out of my head that João Pedro's not going to start every game, obviously, and I don't know if he's going to miss too many in Europe. But I just don't think Evan Ferguson can play that many games in a row. So who's going to play number 9 with him out? Adingra is better than Palmer. Yeah, potentially, yeah. I mean, Palmer's got penalties. Remember that. Adingra definitely doesn't. And I think right now, Palmer's minutes are probably more secure. I got no interest in Martinelli over Saka, but I can afford to have Martinelli as well as Saka, depending on which way I go with the rest of the picks. I've considered that. Douglas Luiz one. I can reveal with an hour and 15 minutes to go until the deadline. Douglas Luiz is not one of the players hidden. Not one of the players hidden. Do I think Zinchenko will start? Yes. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't pick him on wildcard now, though. I think it's too risky. I think it's too risky. I don't think he's like suddenly lost his place to Tomiyasu, but there's obviously going to be a bit of rotation there. Not sure I get the hype on Palmer given Chelsea's next 6 fixtures. I mean, it's penalties and price. That's all there is to it. Like, if you want Haaland and Watkins and Son and Salah and Saka, you've got to make some sacrifices. So Palmer's one of them. But it could be a Dingra instead, of course. I'll just say now, right, thank you very much as always for the super chats, and I am going to go through them as normal, but I would be a bit wary about sending them through because I'm going to be all over the place while I'm on my wild card. For 7th and 8th attacker, do you prefer Matoma and Osula or Adingra and Nketiah? And if the second option, who should I start this game at, Adingra or Nketiah? I think if you get Nketiah, you've got to start him against Sheffield United at home. I know Fulham at home is also very good, but I would start Nketiah. I think I prefer the second option. My only worry is I just hate having money tied up in the bench, and I wonder how quickly I might need that money for something else. After Poch's comments, does Palmer have pens? I think he probably does, but I mean, is it completely out of the question that someone else takes one? No. I don't think Palmer's going to have penalties long term anyway. I think Nkunku will take them when he's back. But as long as Palmer keeps his place in the team, 4.9 million is pretty good, right? So I don't think it's a huge problem. Ferguson plays Sunday, so Pedro and Fati are only 50-50 each this weekend. But has Ansu Fati started any games in the league yet? I feel you're right. Ferguson will start, and I think it'll be João Pedro number 10. I really do. But there is some risk. There is some risk for sure. Start Luka Dean or Burn. I mean, it's Luton at home. Enough said. Chris, 30 months, thank you very much. Pau, Gay, and Mitoma with money to switch to Mburma, or Pau 3.9 and Bowen. No, definitely not the 3.9 and Bowen. Pau, Gay, and Mitoma is probably better for you, as long as you're not like, you know, stopping further moves or whatever. In terms of Spurs news, I've not seen anything, but obviously we'll talk about it if I see it from anyone legit. I'm really not even sure about whether Udogie will start. I wish I had some kind of inkling or idea. Hope Udogie's doing okay. Hopefully she is. Yeah. Would you play Udogie, play Burn over Udogie, or transfer into Gabriel? I just play Burn, I think, especially if you got one free transfer. How much value do you place on XGI XA? JWP's XGI has been better than Bowen Gordon last 4 because of XA, but they've comfortably outscored him. Yeah, I mean, I look at expected goal involvement all the time. You preferably want a player that's skewed more towards goal threat than assist threat. But I said this the other day, Ward-Prowse's numbers are actually pretty good. Whether or not he can keep that up, I don't know. But they are pretty decent, and the good fixtures start now, so I think Ward-Prowse is okay. But I wouldn't pick him over Bowen or Gordon, I don't think. But if you already had him, I probably wouldn't be panicking. Is Adingra a viable option, allows me to get Saka? I think if we're looking at Cole Palmer, we've got to look at Adingra as well. So I'm going to say yes. Starting Burma or Nicholas Jackson? Probably Nicholas Jackson, because Broga's been ruled out. He's not going to play. So presumably Nicholas Jackson's going to start up front. So I'd probably go him. I mean, in Burma, you know it, right? He's nailed on penalties. He could do better, but I'll go for the guy at home. Yes, Golden Retriever. I think I might have already answered that. Captain Cash, no chance. No chance. I mean, he could play as a tucked-in right-back, as a third centre-back, and suddenly he's not so attacking. I mean, it is Luton, so you'd hope he would be, but it's possible. One transfer, Maddison to Saka or Udogie to Tsimikas? Udogie to Tsimikas, I think. Just because Maddison should play, and you're not quite sure on Udogie. Obviously, you can wait as long as possible to see if we get any news, but right now we don't have any. Haaland or Watkins captain this week? I think I would go Watkins ahead of Haaland. Just about. Saka captain over Salah or Haaland in my team. Thanks very much for being a member for 18 months, Alex. I would say Salah over Saka, but Saka's very good. Game week 8 wildcard. Madison out for Martinelli. I have Son. I'd probably just keep Madison. Watkins and Neto or Saka and Antonio. I prefer the second. I prefer the former. I'm not sure about Antonio. I think, like, once upon a time, Antonio was a great FPL option, but his stats have come down a lot over the last season or two. He usually gets subbed early. Is there a chance maybe at some point someone else starts ahead of him as well? There has to be a small chance, right? Not saying it'll be this week or anything. So I think I prefer Watkins and Neto. Neto, the forgotten man on wildcard 10. Only way to get Saka is -4. Neto to Adingra and Madison Saka. Yeah, not interested in that, I think. Yeah, just get Saka in 12. I mean, look, Saka's really good this week, but I don't think it's worth a -4 to move from Madison. Madison's still really, really nice this week. I tweeted about this earlier. I'm telling you now, right? There's some people that wildcarded Nate that have got great teams this week. There's people that haven't wildcarded at all have got great teams this week, and they can easily outscore wildcard 10 that's like getting players like Saka. So I wouldn't panic too much. Not for a -4. I would do Madison to Saka for free. I don't think I'd do it for a hit though. Gabriel or Simicast, who to add? I think longer term I prefer Gabriel, but for the next 2 game weeks I prefer Simicast. On wildcard, Archer with 0 in the bank or Osula with 0.2. I'd probably go Archer, right? He's playing. I know he hasn't got any points really, but he got 12 against Everton, right? That could happen again at some point. You never know when you might need him. The only time that I would go for Osula and bank the 0.2 is if your team gets much better with that 0.2 million. If it doesn't, I would just go for the play-in bench option. Right, who thinks João Pedro is going to start this week? Or do we just go Nketiah? Nketiah against Sheffield United at home. I mean, I was talking to Praz about this, and I mentioned Havertz starting number 9, but then he pointed out that Thomas Partey is injured, which means Rice will probably play 6, which means there's space for Odegaard and Havertz playing as 8s. So then it's only Trossard as an option who might play up front. But what I think has been missed is Nketiah has started 7 times this season, and I don't think Trossard has been injured for all of them. So I think Nketiah is probably going to start. My only worry is, If João Pedro starts this week, then I don't think Nketiah is necessarily a better option. And the backup plan for Nketiah would be just to get João Pedro down the line. So why not just get him now? You don't need 3 up front, but I've got the money in the bank to get a player with Fulham at home or Sheffield United at home this week. And then one of them's got Sheffield United at home in game week 12 and the other one's got Burnley at home in game week 12. So it's like a short-term punt, basically. I just know at some point soon I'll need that money, and I'd be really annoyed I've got it wrapped up in a 8th defender, 8th attacker essentially. It's tempting. It's really tempting. Who would you keep out from the midfield if you bring in Nketiah? Whichever cheap midfielder I have, so like Adingra or Palmer, I would just bench, basically. But I guess then it goes back to, well, you know, Palmer on penalties at home to Brentford, Adingra at home to Fulham. Do they need benching? Are they that? I mean, João Pedro is on penalties. We should remember that. When he's on the pitch. Is he definitely going to be on the pitch? I don't know. This is the closest all season I've been to buying João Pedro. But it's just not guaranteed. Doom, doom, doom. Oh yeah, sorry. Sterling or Matoma -4. I would just play Sterling. Hope dog is okay. Any idea how long it's out for? No. Hopefully she'll be fine by tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Gabriel Obertan worth a punt of 5.5. Wait, is this? Hang on a second. This is a joke, right? 5.5 million. Okay, yeah, that is who I thought it was. Wait, he's not. Wait, hang on. Have I got the wrong player here? No, I have got... What is this on? This is the guy that used to play for Man United, right? I think it is, unless I'm missing something here. Someone's just messaged me to say... Okay, so someone they trust for Spurs It says that Brennan Johnson is starting ahead of Richarlison. So if anyone's got Richarlison, there might be a problem this week. But nothing about Udogie yet. Nothing about Udogie yet. And the person that's messaged me must trust them, because otherwise they wouldn't have messaged me, to be honest. I think they must think they're semi trustworthy. So the person who's so you can just go and look it for yourself. The person who's put it up on Twitter is XAlexTHFC. In fact, you know what? I'll just put it in the chat so you can go and have a look. That's apparently pretty legit. If your budget allows you to downgrade Cash to Pau Torres to upgrade a Dingra, Palmer to Matoma, would you do it? I would rather have... yeah, I think I would rather have Pau Torres and Matoma than Palmer and Cash. I think, just about. I will say, though, Cash... I do think the next 3 fixtures are the kind where Cash could just go mad, right? They're 3 pretty good fixtures. They're decent enough for clean sheets. He can be really attacking. That would be my only worry. I do think, though, if Cash doesn't go crazy in this first game, then that 0.5 saving will probably be much better in the long run. But I think for me, like I think I've seen a few people talking about it. Cash to Estepinian in Game Week 13 does look pretty good. So I guess just see how much you want Estepinian, etc. He doesn't know. So this Spurs guy, Alex, he doesn't know about Udogie late fitness test apparently. Oof. So we might not find out. Nikhil, template wildcard 10, but went Trippier instead of Son. Lots of value tied up in Trippier, and Spurs are low in the ticker for attack in the next 6. Plus Palace and Wolves low bot, not ideal for Son. Too risky. I mean, not really. Like you go whichever way you prefer. I've got Son. The one thing I'll say is if all the defenders we're looking at on wildcard right now play, there is some really nice value. Simicas, Gabriel, Cash, Pau Torres, etc. And they have got potential to get clean sheets, in which case that's why I kind of prefer Son. But it could end up that Trippier carries on what he's been doing. Honestly, there's a risk either way. You just have to go with the one you're happier with. I mean, I'm not sitting on the fence, right? I've gone for Son. I've sold Trippier as well. He's actually been sold now, so even if I wanted him back, I'd have to pay 0.3 million more. It's a risk. Of course it is. But everyone's making a risk. Everyone has a sacrifice in their team. I don't think that anyone's got enough money to have Watkins, Haaland, Salah, Trippier, Son, Saka, etc. I just don't think anyone's got enough money for that. And if they do, I'd love to see the rest of the team. Would you get Saka for a -4 or just stay with Mitoma and Diaby instead? I mean, Mitoma's got Fulham at home and Diaby's got Luton at home, so I definitely would not take a -4. Erez, thank you very much for being a member for 2 months, by the way. Bowen and Archer or Mitoma and Nketiah? I mean... essentially, that's my dilemma. I'm kind of... Mark Southerns has what? I'm pretty sure he doesn't have Son, or he didn't have a draft I saw the other day. I didn't watch Black Box yesterday. Let me see. I can quickly have a look at it. Okay, Mark's got it. All right. Did he put it on Black Box, or has he tweeted about it? Let me see here. Where's Mark's team? They don't put the chapters in anymore, lads. Come on. You're slacking. Even I do chapters. Okay, let's see Mark's team. Alright, hang on. I'm looking at it now. So he's got Trippier, Son, Salah and Haaland and Saka. So who hasn't he got? Has he got and Watkins? He's got everyone. Damn. He's 0.1 million off. How's he getting that? Mubama, Strakosia. Oof. Do you know what? Not a bad wildcard, that. Not a bad wildcard, that at all. Gabriel, Simicas. Can I afford this? Palmer and Diaby. How much money has he got? Hang on, I need to look at this. Hang on. Imagine if I've just realised I can afford this team. Imagine if I've just realised I can afford this team if I'd only... hang on, where's the... If I'd only not sold Trippier already. I think hang on a second though. He's had Salah since the start. I bet he's had Diaby since the start as well. I bet his team value is just really good. I bet it's better than mine. Let's see how far off I am on his team. So Gabriel, Cash, Trippier, Taylor, Mubama up front. Not Nketiah, unsurprisingly. Strakosia as well. I don't mind that, to be honest. Strakosia, Son, Palmer, Salah. Yeah, I'm 1 million off that team. I'm 1 million off. His team value is amazing. Fair enough. I hold my hands up. There is someone that's got Watkins, Haaland, Saka, Salah, Son, and Trippier. What a ridiculous wildcard. What a ridiculous wildcard that is. Yeah, that's mental. I'm 1 million off that. 1 million. And there's people that I've been chatting to this week that have got even worse team value than me. No, he has got Saka. He has got Saka. This is his team, right? Areola in goal, Cash, Trippier, Gabriel, Salah, Saka, Diaby, Son and Palmer, Haaland and Watkins, and then Shikoja on the bench, Tsimikas, Taylor and Mubama. I'll show the team. I can't show it properly on there. I'm going to message him now. Say, I've just seen your wildcard team. That is disgusting. I'm 1 million off. Falling the same. Can't believe that, man. Mark's gonna beast it this season. He might actually beat me for a change. We'll see. We'll see. Team value's not everything. I'm gonna come back. Hang on. Sorry, I will get back to the. How long we got? I got less than an hour to lock my team. Am I going João Pedro? Alright, what were we doing? Oh, we were talking about FPL or something. That's ridiculous. I can't get over that. What a ridiculous team. Sorry, where were we? Bowen and Archer. Oh, no, I did that one. I'm 34k and 60 points above second in my win league. Do I do a minus 20 and save the wild card? No. You just wild card. Alvarez is his sacrifice then. 3-5-2 playing Palmer every week rather than as an 8th attacker. But most people on wildcard are playing Palmer or rotating with a defender. Like, most people have to do what Mark is doing, apart from they don't have Trippier. They have Gay. Mark basically has Gay instead of... Mark has Trippier instead of Gay, essentially. I mean, yeah, okay, he's got Mubama and Shikoja, but I think that's fine, right? That's mental. No Haaland squad. Bench boost game week 12. Get Haaland game week 15. Nice. Good luck. Son, Ward, Prowse to Saka, Bowen. I think the latter two definitely better combination. Yeah. Hope your dog's home soon. Me too. Thank you very much. Start Burn or Neto. Probably Neto at home. What a team. I'm so jealous. Mental. You know what? To be fair to him, he also said weeks back, he said everyone's going on about team value not mattering right now, but it will matter at some point. And he made lots of early moves and it's paid off. On wildcard, Darwin or Son, Ray or Areola, Gabriel, my team already. I mean, I think Ray probably is better than Areola, but because of the price difference, I'd rather have Areola, I think. How do I follow your plans if I have Solanke? You don't. You just follow your own plans. Why are you so consistently boring with your FPL picks? It's just how it is. But do you know what the beauty of YouTube is? You just don't have to watch. Simple as that. I am very boring. I'm a very bland person, you know. I'm happy to go with the boring picks if they get the points. Are Son and Maddison too much of a Spurs investment? No, not necessarily. Which one, Alvarez to Watkins or Maddison to Saka? I'd say Maddison to Saka, I think, but I gotta be honest, I'm not quite sure about that. Trippier and Palmer or Saliba and Diaby? I own Gabriel. I think Saliba and Diaby's. I don't know. I'd probably go Trippier and Palmer in that case. I think. It's a genuine question, though. I mean, I'm trying to pick the players that I think are the best. I don't give it up. Well, I was going to swear then. I don't care if they're boring or not. I really don't. I just pick the players that I think are going to score the most points, and that is it. If that means picking all the template players, that is what I'll do. Stephen Gallagher, member for 66 months. We're nearly at 5 years. Absolutely mad. Thank you very much. 2 free transfers. Amaron to Matoma and Roll, or Doggy and Amaron to Simicast and Diaby. I mean, by the way, I guess you can only afford Matoma in the first one, but you could still just get Matoma and not Diaby. I think the second one's pretty good, by the way. I'd probably use both, I think. Pepperson, thank you very much. Rami, bring Maguire as 5th defender or keep Taylor and keep 0.3 in the bank. I think it really depends on what you think Maguire's minutes are. I think Maguire is worth the 0.3 if he keeps starting. How long that continues for, I really don't know. I really don't know. So probably for most people, bank the 0.3 million. But I think Maguire at 4.2 could be quite a decent pick. Who to start? Areola, Everton at home, or Sanchez, Brentford at home? Probably... I mean, Chelsea, better defence, but harder fixture. Probably Areola, I think. Should I get Saka for -4 or stay with Luis Diaz? Probably just stay with Luis Diaz. He should start, right? Son, Alvarez and Nunez, or Haaland and Gordon? I mean, there's 3 versus 2 there, but probably the Haaland option. 1 roller transfer and play Solanke. Who's Solanke even got this week? Oh, Burnley at home. You can't be getting rid of Solanke this week, surely. Next week, Solanke to João Pedro and Madison Saka, or 2 Udogi to Gabriel. I don't know if there's going to be any need to do Solanke to João Pedro next week, so probably Udogi to Gabriel. Especially if you can still then do Madison to Saka. You don't need to do Madison to Saka next week. 2 free transfers. Udogi for Simicast / Gabriel and Madison for Bowen. I probably wouldn't use a free transfer on Madison to Bowen. I'd just do the first one and roll. Gordon or Adingra on wildcard. I think Gordon is the better pick, but obviously he's more money, so it depends what that does for you, right? Let me see here. I don't think I'd do Alvarez to Watkins for a hit. Don't think so. Son and Almiron to Saka and Matoma, what do you think? I think the second combination is better, yeah. Although, Almiron's surely pretty nailed now, right? Because Murphy's out. So, it could work. Wildcard... Oh my days. Wildcard 10, Defender 4 of Simicast, Cash, Gabriel, Trippier, Midfield 5, Salah, Saka, Bowen, Matoma, Neto. Play 4-4-2 in game weeks 10, 12, 14 and bench Neto. Play Neto in game week 11, bench Gabriel. Game week 13, bench Simicast. Game week 14, bench Cash. Thoughts? Sounds great. There's no way I can kind of visualise all of that. But to me, it sounds like you've got a plan. That's all you can have. You've got good players. You're set. Get it locked in. Latest on Lamptey is the same as Estupinian, and De Zerbi is hopeful that he'll be back soon, basically. If Madison Matoma go big, definitely watching Black Box. Why did they take them out? There's no info on Udogi. I'm not convinced we're going to get any either, but I don't know. Wildcard this week or hang on for 11. Currently have Madison, Saka, Trippier, Gabriel, Hart. Well, I mean, it depends. How many changes will you make this week and how much different will the wildcard look next week, I guess? You'll have to weigh that up. My general advice would be, if you're still deciding whether to wildcard and you haven't really thought about what your wildcard team will be, there's 51 minutes to go. I would probably just leave it unless you're kind of already sure what to do. I don't think there's any issue with wildcarding this late for what it's worth, if you know what team you're going to go for. I've wildcarded late plenty of times. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Diaby and Maguire or Gordon and Gay on wildcard. Probably Gordon and Gay, I guess, is a bit safer. I don't know, there's just part of me that thinks Maguire started the last 3 games, right? 1 in the Champions League, 2 in the league. Ten Hag was talking him up. He's 4.2 million. Is that too good to turn down? Is it? I don't think Rashford will haul because he's playing against Man City, obviously. But I think he could score in that kind of game. Scored against Arsenal, right? It's kind of game for him. Branthwaite or Lamptey? Oh, it's got to be Branthwaite, I guess. Because even when Lamptey's back, Estupinian will be back, and then Lamptey's minutes would be rubbish. But, I mean, Branthwaite has not got many good fixtures either, so they're both pretty bad. Really, you want Taylor, which tells me you're going Taylor and Branthwaite. So I'm not sure what team you're going for, but you're going cheap on the bench, I can tell. if you've got bench Lascelles or Evan Ferguson. I mean, Evan Ferguson should start this week, so that's all you need to know. Rank 'em. Mitoma, Richarlison, Diaby, João Pedro. I would say I'm still quite torn between Diaby and Mitoma, I've got to be honest. But I'll say Mitoma, then Diaby, then João Pedro, then Nketiah, then Richarlison. Thoughts on the Robbie Fowler sacking? I'm not sure what he's been sacked from, to be honest with you. Callum, how's it going? Wildcard, Areola, Trippier, Simicast, Gay, Diaby, Almiron. Is Almiron quite expensive? Salah, Madison, Watkins, João Pedro, Haaland, bench, Turner, Neto, Taylor, Branthwaite. I mean, it sounds good. Obviously, cheapest. Well, yeah, bench is quite cheap. I mean, Almiron's quite expensive, isn't he? Isn't Almiron like over 6? It's 6.4 for Almiron. I can't get on board with that. I think Mitoma's a very similar price. Surely you go Mitoma over Almiron. Can get Maguire instead if I go Archer down to Mubama. So Branthwaite and Archer or Maguire and Mubama. Oof. I think the former is probably better. The one without Maguire. How different do you see Game Week 12 wildcard, for example? I'm going to be honest, I've not looked at Game Week 12 wildcard at all. It's not even that I've not looked at it a little bit. I've not looked at it at all. So I honestly can't give you a good answer to that. Like someone said earlier, someone said to me earlier, not to me directly, but it was in the chat, and they said, how are you going to handle blank Game Week 29? I was thinking, I don't even know what I'm doing in Game Week 12 with 2 free transfers, let alone Game Week 29 back. Like, I'm all for planning, right? It's good to know for chip use, but I don't know. Going to wing it for a while and then see what Ben Crennan tells me to do, basically. Diaby, Maguire. Oh, yeah, sorry, I just did that. Rankham, yeah. Wildcard, yeah. Son and Cash 4-4-2 or Mitoma and Diaby 3-5-2. No Spurs. I mean, Son and Cash is pretty good next few weeks, to be honest. Can you rank captaincy in order? Salah, Saka, Watkins, Haaland, Son. Zinchenko, Madison to Maguire, Saka, or Madison, Alvarez to Mitoma, Watkins. I don't. Yeah, probably Mitoma, Watkins, I guess. Zinchenko should start. Xander Red, member for 14 months. Thank you very much. Wow, there's lots of questions. I'm never going to get to all these. I can tell already. I haven't even got my wildcard locked in or anything. I'm still thinking about that João Pedro draft. I'm considering a -4. Happy with midfield, but Højlund and Watkins up front. Cashburn and Share back 3. Lots and lots of money in the bank. I don't know what the -4 is, and obviously Højlund's not great this week, but Cashburn and Share are all fine, so you might not need a -4. Have a nice thing. Plon, thank you very much. Have a nice. I got Areola Cash. What do you think? Out. Haaland and Burmo in Salah and Alvarez. I mean, yeah, if you're happy selling Haaland, that's not too bad, especially if you've got your wild card to get him back in, I guess. Rest of the team looks pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep Haaland on wild card, but it is viable to think about going without him for sure. Is Saka captain tempting me? Not when I've got Salah, to be honest. Saka and Alvarez or Foden and Watkins on wildcard. Saka and Alvarez, I think. Play Forster over Madison / Diaby. Only play 2. Forster. Only play 2. Like, is that Foster? Like Burnley Foster? If it is, I go Madison and Diaby, I think. Mitoma and João Pedro double up. Oh, do you know what? I'm considering it. Honestly, I'm considering it. The thing is, I was very confident when I was talking about Mitoma's minutes. And then he played 90 last night. I think he will start again. But I just think if I wildcard into 2 Brighton attackers and they both get benched the first week, that just looks like an absolute disaster, doesn't it? That's my worry. Mark's messaged me back. Haaland, Salah. Bloody Mark. I mean, Jordan, why are you using words like wetty, you weirdo? He said, I've been a team value beast, glued to the pricing tools every night all season. That's the dedication it takes to have Salah, Watkins, Son, Saka, Haaland and Trippier. You just need to watch the price rise sites every single day. So jealous. I mean, here's me thinking about going for Matoma and João Pedro. Like, Mark's got every single player you could possibly want. I'm going to wildcard into 2 players that are going to get benched the first game week. I don't know what I'm doing. Nketiah is quite tempting as a punt, though. How fast am I typing? Fast enough, I guess. Someone's at my front door. Let's see on the ring. Oh. We're not being robbed anyway. Yeah, so on the Matoma and João Pedro double up, like, it could be great, but it could also be really bad. Like, the interesting thing with Brighton is, I think the general narrative is, because they got so many injuries, they're not going to be as good. But actually, they've still got quite a few good players available. They are just generally a very attacking team. And because they got so many injuries, some of those players' minutes have now gone right up. Like, if he benches Matoma for Fulham at home, who plays left, right? The obvious choice, based on what positions most of those players have played this season, would be Adingra, right? But then if Adingra's playing left, who's playing right? Because March is out. So it could be Buonanotte, but I don't think he's had a single start in the Premier League, or not for a while anyway, because obviously he got injured. So I think Matoma and Adingra probably both start. And I also think João Pedro starts at the 10. But it's Brighton, so I cannot sit here and be completely sure. Yeah, but Ansu Fati has mainly played central, I think. Like, I believe that Ansu Fati, when he came from Barcelona, was mainly on the left, right? But he hasn't been playing there. He's been playing central. And, like, Matoma's one of their best players as well. And Ansu Fati started last night too, like Matoma and João Pedro. So I don't think it's a definite. That I think there's a good chance Matoma starts, is basically what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way. I don't know. I'm a bit all over the place with this. It's like Diaby. Have I written Diaby off too? I've not written him off, but is he better than Matoma? Maybe he is. With your bench, you can't be taking risks with playtime. Well, I mean, if I had João Pedro, it would be instead of Archer, right? So if anything, that's not really making any difference. And then I would still have 2 playing defenders on the bench. I wouldn't have Harry Maguire, unfortunately. I could just picture that Harry Maguire bullet header. It happened in the Champions League. Now I need it to happen in my team. I'm just my problem with Nketiah is I just don't trust Arteta. Right? How long will Jesus actually be out for? That is the key question. We just don't really know. So it's Son, Matoma and Diaby, or Darwin, Diaby and Bowen. I think the former's better. Son, Matoma and Diaby. I mean, I can get to Son, Matoma and Diaby as well. It just means I've messed my team up now. Yeah, I can't do it with Shikoja and Mubama. I'd have to get 0.4 million from somewhere. So I'd have to do Gay to a 4.1 million. If I could afford Maguire, I mean, I could go Shikoja and Maguire like I did on video the other day. But it's like it's a lot of reliance on Maguire continuing to start, and also maybe Man United not being absolutely terrible. Then you get Diaby and Matoma. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. I guess my main worry with my wildcard is I just don't feel like it just doesn't feel so like great for this week. It almost feels like it's being built a bit for the next few weeks, which obviously it has to. I don't know. I'm just going around in circles at this point. Start Adingra or Alvarez. I mean, Alvarez. Adingra's got a great fixture, but I don't think if you had Alvarez, I would bench him. Bowen and Adingra versus Matoma and Gordon on wildcard. I think Matoma and Gordon's probably slightly more stable, I guess. Probably a good word for it. Like, solid overall. Best of luck with the wildcard. Kieran, thank you very much. 12 months member. Appreciate it. Luke, would you consider free hit if you've early wildcarded to attack the good Arsenal this week? No, I don't think so. I think there'll be better options later on. And to be honest, I think even if you haven't got like loads of Villa and Arsenal and Brighton, etc., your team probably still looks quite good this week. Like Spurs against Crystal Palace away are fine to play. Like Newcastle players against Wolves away is probably okay as well. I mean, it's not quite as good on paper, but it could be absolutely fine. Keith, thank you very much. JB, would you wildcard if you don't have Saka and Watkins? I mean, it's just 2 players, right? Have a plan to get Saka for 12, that's fine, but can't get Watkins and I've got fear of missing out. Like, Watkins is great. I don't think him on his own is worth a wild card, so it really depends how many other changes you're making as well. Oliver, 8 months member. Hope you and your dog are well. Keep smashing. Thank you very much. Who do I captain, Saka or Watkins? My gut says Watkins, but Saka has that clean sheet bonus. Yeah, I think Saka's got more chance of taking a penalty as a midfielder. That is who I would go for. James, thank you very much. Stian. 2 free transfers in Ketia and Palmer Adingra in for Archer and Neto, or Matoma and Taylor can bench in for Udogie and Neto. I mean, I think the latter, but honestly, you could probably just keep Neto. I don't think I would transfer Nketiah in, especially if you've already used your wild card. It feels a bit too short term. It's just someone you're going to have to deal with very soon, which maybe means I probably shouldn't have him. Who is Strakoja? How do you spell his name? It's like S-T-R-A. He's a Brentford goalkeeper, basically. Have you seen Game Week 13? It's gross. Yes, but just bear in mind it's going to be the same for everyone, right? It's going to be similar for a lot of people. Like, if you look at the fixtures in 13, like Man City against Liverpool, so people are going to have Salah, maybe some Haaland. Some people might not have him, which is fair enough. Spurs players will be good against Villa. Arsenal away to Brentford. Chelsea away to Newcastle. So even people that have got Newcastle because they haven't wildcard or whatever reason they got them, even they've not got the greatest fixture. Is Ansu Fati worth a punt? I don't think so. I mean, he's 6.5 million, so my main problem is he's the same price as Matoma, and I don't think he's better, basically. Do I think that Man United have a chance of beating Man City? I mean, there's always a chance, but if they play how they've both been recently, I mean, Man City, I guess, haven't been at their absolute best, but they are still much better than Man United. Watkins, Haaland, and Alvarez, Madison, Salah, Diaby, Gordon midfield, but no Saka. Already -4 defenses, Trippier, Cash, Gabriel. Just go without Saka. Like, I think in weeks like this when people are, there's a lot of wild cards, right? I know there was a lot in 8 as well, but there's a lot this week. Like, the fear of missing out gets very big, and people that aren't wild card, a lot of them will be looking to bring Saka in, and Saka is great this week. But I don't think you should be panicking. I don't think you should be taking -4s for him or anything like that. Again, most people have still got a pretty good team. Madison out for Martinelli, can't get to Saka. I'd probably just keep Madison. If Madison and Matoma go big, definitely watching Black. Oh yeah, I read that earlier, although I'm still not sure why. I have Ariola, Trippier, Udogie, Simicast, Bowen, Saka, Son, Salah, Watkins, Haaland, which costs even more. Alright, show off. Alright, James, just show off. Thank you for your great content. Martinelli for a differential captain this week. Yes, if you want to go different, have Watkins and Salah, but no Saka. I mean, I would go Salah or Watkins, but yes. Saka is not a Hall kind of guy. Yeah, I think people worry about like big scores too much. Like before he got injured, Saka was the top scoring midfielder. So I think the whole scoring 15 plus points is overblown. I mean, Salah's only scored more than 10 points twice this season, and that was in the last 2 weeks. If you didn't know, like Saka's done it. Saka's got 10 and 13 as highest scores, but he does tick over quite nicely. Thank you for the great... oh, yeah, sorry. Maguire, Archer, Turner, or Gay, Mubama, Strakoja. Probably Maguire, Archer, Turner, I think. I can get to Saka if I sell Son or Roll. No, I wouldn't sell Son for Saka. Or in Burma to a Brighton mid, but who? Matoma, I think is the best. That's probably what I would do in that case. Together from now until forever. Let me just see here. I've just realised if I don't go Bowen, he's then up to 7.4. If Salah is so essential, I don't understand why no one's captain him at home to the worst defence. Mostly because Salah exists. That's about it. Do I think Man United will secure top 4 this season? Nope, probably not. Like, Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal, I think, are shoo-ins. So then they've got to be better than Newcastle and Spurs. And right now, they're just not better than those two. So, no. Focal says Johnson starts ahead of Richarlison confirmed. Yeah, we talked about that at the start of the stream. It came out a little while ago. Maybe I should put that in the ticker. I don't know. Do many people have Richarlison? I'm certainly not going to be buying Brennan Johnson, that's for sure. Maddison and Luis Diaz to Saka and Matoma with Alvarez up front, or Diaz and Alvarez to Adingra and Watkins. Nah, I'd probably go for the first one if you're going to do either. Melody Man, member for 1 month, thank you very much. Good luck with the wildcard. Which combination do you prefer? Pau, Diaby, Matoma versus Cash, Bowen, Palmer, Adingra. I honestly think Pau, Diaby and Matoma is slightly better. I just don't think I mean, I could do that. I could do that exact same move. I've talked a lot about Pau Torres instead of Cash because of the 0.5 million difference. I'm just double checking now. Do you know what? I'm 0.1 million off being able to do Cash to Luka Dean. Which is a bit annoying. He's only one yellow card away from he's one yellow card away from suspension. Yeah, I mean I could do the same. I could have Gay if I also have Pau Torres for Diaby and Matoma. But I just feel like Cash is just one of those players that could go so crazy against Luton at home. I just don't really want to be without him. But that is quite tempting though. Pau Torres, Diaby and Matoma instead of Cash, Palmer plus money in the bank, and then like Matoma or Bowen. Why don't I like Bowen? I do like Bowen. He's good, like you said. There's no news I'm waiting for. No, I'm just waiting to lock in my decisions, I guess. As Isak is injured, am I tempted to get Wilson? Donat, thank you very much for 8 months. No, not really. I think the fixture's getting a little bit worse. I don't trust that he can play multiple games in a row, including Champions League. Plus, we don't know how long Isak's going to be out for. So, probably not. Great content, Bowen and Adingra or Matoma and Gordon. Matoma and Gordon's probably slightly better. Bowen and Archer to Matoma and Nketiah, 2 free transfers. Yeah, I've kind of already talked about that. I think potentially that could be much better, the latter, as long as Nketiah... I think you need to get 3 games out of Nketiah. You need that Burnley game as well. If you only get Sheffield United and Newcastle away and then you're forced into a transfer, I don't know how great that is, really. That'd be my only worry. One thing I need to look at... Oh. Sorry, I'm just checking something a sec. Sometimes I get a good feeling. You can't decide who to captain. I mean, Salah for me. I've really not thought that much. I mean, I guess when you're on wildcard, a lot of your thoughts are kind of on that, but I don't know. Salah's just been my choice the whole time, so it's going to stay, really. Is free hit a viable option for early wildcarders to attack good Game Week 10 punts, or is Game Week 18 still the template wildcard? Oh, yes, I already did that one, I think. Gay or Mitchell? Gay. What about Douglas Luiz instead of Ward-Prowse? Not for me. You better be considering the Maguire change. I'm considering it, but I don't think I'll do it. On wildcard, Palmer, João Pedro, or Gordon Archer? I think... do you know what? I think Palmer and João Pedro might be better, to be honest. Rami, Wildcard, Areola, Turner, Gabriel, Cash, Simicast, Gay, Taylor, Salah, Saka, Son, Bowen, Adingra. Any change you wish to suggest? I mean, not really. I mean, there might be some things you... There's not really any change. There's no one bad there. You haven't made any bad picks, so I would say no. Like, you could go Palmer instead of Adingra for the penalties if you wanted to, but I like Adingra as a punt. There's nothing wrong with that team. Matoma, Diaby and Archer, or Palmer, Son and Mubama? Probably Palmer and Son, I think. Am I mad for keeping Udogie? No. João Pedro. João Pedro to start instead. The thing is, I don't even know if João Pedro is that much better than Palmer this week. I think he is after that. But who knows what might come up between now and then. She's only got 30 minutes left. Does anyone else find, like, I feel like I've spent so long talking about wildcards this week and yet haven't really looked at it enough. I feel like I've not looked at my own team enough. The only Spurs news I've seen is that Johnson is apparently starting ahead of Richarlison, which is massive FPL news. Massive. There probably is some people with Richarlison. Haaland, Alvarez and Watkins, midfield Salah, Neto, Gordon, Diaby and then Madison, defence Trippier, Cash with a -4 but no Saka. Yeah, sounds pretty good. -4 Salah, Simicast, Gabriel for Diaz, Trippier, Porro. I think, yeah, if you want to captain Salah, I don't mind that at all. No news on O'Doggy, no. Would have Gay and Palmer on rotation on wildcard. It works really well, yeah, for sure. Mitoma, Diaby, Pau, 4 million, or Boeing, Palmer, Cash, Udogi. Boeing. Well, I mean, I think probably the latter. Just have Cash. Maguire's not nailed now that Reguilon is back. But Maguire started the last. I know Reguilon's not been available for all of them, but in the Champions League, Reguilon played and Maguire was left centre back. So I think he's pretty decent. Saka and Bowen or Son and Mitoma. Son and Mitoma. I don't know who I think is better out of Son and Saka, so I'm going to say Son and Mitoma, but I think it's close. Madison and Bowen or Son and Gordon. Son and Gordon, I think. Alan, Ariola, bottom and bench, rate. James Ward-Prowse, Watkins, Haaland, Salah, Son. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, most people's teams are going to look pretty good this season. I did a really, really bad move. I got Gabriel, Mitoma and Saka instead of Madison, Anderson and Diaby from -4. I mean, selling Diaby from -4 before he plays Luton at home doesn't seem that great, but I think the 3 players you bought in are pretty good. You shouldn't now captain Saka because you think you made a mistake on transfers. You should only captain Saka if you think he's better than whoever else you got. Madison and Mitoma or Son and Adingra. Madison and Mitoma is probably better for that combination. If no Doggy news, a hit for Gabriel or play Kabori. Kabori's rubbish, man. I'd probably just play Doggy and hope that he starts. 2 free transfers, Madison to Mitoma and Bowen to Saka. Could I regret this? You could regret it, yeah. But I think they're pretty good moves. Play Burn or Romero. Romero's been giving me great points. I'd probably go Burn out of those two, I think. Although Crystal Palace attack is not great, is it? Loads of people messaged me on WhatsApp today. Bowen okay, so this is their choice. Bowen and Palmer or Mitoma and Gordon. I think Mitoma and Gordon is better. Like, I think Gordon is better than Palmer, right? And I don't think Mitoma's a lot worse than Bowen. So I think a lot of people are looking at that. I think Mitoma and Gordon. Between that and Bowen and Palmer. I don't know if you're watching. If you're watching, message me. Otherwise, I'll realise you're not watching and I'll just type back instead. You did say sorry to interrupt your stream, so I'm going to assume you're watching. You might not be. Say nothing if you're not watching. 2 free tracks. Oh no, done that one. Okay, he's watching. But I've not set up. I've got me prompter, but I've not set it up. Anyway, let's move on. Bowen or Mitoma or Diaby? Great question. Great question. Do you know what's really weird? I said this in Discord earlier. Earlier in the week, I was really high on Bowen as a better option than Mitoma and Diaby. But I don't know why. And now it's almost like I've gone cold on Bowen. And I don't know why. So I don't know why I really liked him. I guess because he's absolutely nailed for 90 and his goal threat has been quite good this season. That was probably the main reason. But all of a sudden now, I keep going back to not having Bowen and just having a bit more money to spend. I don't know. I do not know what I'm doing, basically. Obviously, Bowen is quite a lot more expensive. Palmer or Adingra. Slot in first 11 only next 2 weeks. If it's next 2 weeks only, I'll probably go Adingra and take the punt. Ferguson over Matoma saves me a -4. I mean, Ferguson will probably start this week. Matoma's the much better option longer term, though. Madison to Martinez for free. I'd probably just keep Madison. Nick, thank you very much for gifting a membership. Adingra over Matoma if it meant Watkins for Alvarez. I think Alvarez and Matoma's probably slightly better. Just on my wildcard, accepted the change, didn't select to use my wildcard. You just need to make one transfer, then just use your wildcard then. He's playing as well as he did in his 200-point season. Is he? Is he? I mean, his underlying stats are pretty good this year so far. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. It's like 4 spots giving me such a headache. I mean, if you want me to put it in order, I'd say Bowen, then Matoma, then Diaby. But again, not 100% sure why. Adingra over Matoma. Oh yeah, sorry. Bench one of Højlund, Gordon, Neto are out. Probably Højlund against Man City, I reckon. Haaland, Diaz, Souček out. Salah, Saka, Archer in. Could work out, yeah. -4 to take Haaland out. Could work. Captain Salah. You're forgetting Darwin. Yeah, I've completely forgotten about him at this point. Like, genuinely, I've just no Darwin happening. I don't have the headspace to think about Darwin. I just can't go for Darwin over Watkins. Can afford Madison to Saka if I do a -4 with Udogie to Tsimikas and Diaby to Matoma. I mean, again, selling Diaby for a -4 before Luton at home doesn't seem great, to be honest with you. So I'm not completely sure about that. Udogie, Madison, Ward-Prowse out. Udogie, Madison, Ward-Prowse out for Tsimikas, Saka, Palmer, or Adingra -4. I mean, yeah, I quite like that. Yeah, I like that. Gets me Haaland, Salah, Son, Saka, Watkins, and Trippier. Seriously, will people stop showing off with that? Like, as soon as I said, no one can get those 6 players, frickin' everyone's got those 6 players. Honestly, disgust me with your great team value. Should I start Nketiah? That sounds really good, by the way, Cameron. Should I start Nketiah over Neto? If you've got Nketiah, he's got Sheffield United at home, right? So I guess the question is, why have you got him if you're not going to play him against Sheffield United at home? Should I? Oh yeah, sorry. Madison and Alvarez or Matoma and Watkins? Matoma and Watkins, I think. Son, Matoma, Archer, or Madison, Bowen, João Pedro? Son, Matoma, I think. Would you do Madison to Martinez if you can't afford Saka? I'd probably just keep Madison. Want to bring in Saka, 2 free transfers. Our only options are Saka and Matoma for Son and Neto, or Gabriel and Saka in for Trippier and Diaby. I like the second one, but again, you're selling Diaby before Luton at home. It doesn't make sense to me. I think you go without Saka. Son, Salah, Souček, or Bruno, Salah, Douglas, Luiz. Son and Salah, I think. Son and Salah. Can I lock my 4 players in? I can, yeah. I can. Or I could. Which 2 would you start from Madison, Porro, Alvarez, and Trippier? Need 1 defender to start at least. Which 2 would you start from Madison, Porro, Alvarez, and Trippier? Trippier, obviously. Alvarez and Madison, I guess. I think if you've got Trippier, it's pretty difficult to bench him. In most fixtures, let alone Wolves away. Premier League site saying Neto out of injury. 100, yeah, he is. But that's Bournemouth's Neto, not Wolves' Neto. So do not panic too much. Still not seeing any other early team news as it stands. Oh, it's up for me. You can get all 6 players if you use a 4th defender like Trippier, Pau, Tsimikas. I don't think I can get all those players. And also, by the way, I've sold Trippier. So it now costs me even more to get him back. So perhaps that was a mistake. Well, not really, because I'm probably going to just go without him. But yeah, even if I got Pau Torres instead of cash, I still don't think I can afford it. I'm looking though. I'm double checking. Yeah, like I'm still about 0.4 million off of it. 0.3 off, and that's with Mubama, Strakosha, Pau Torres. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do it really. Not without completely destroying the team. It's just not worth it. I'm very jealous of everyone that can do it, though. Like, seriously. Mad. Although, did I just say I'm 0.3 million off? Did I just say I'm 0.3 million off? And I sold Trippier, and now he costs an extra 0.3 million. Hang on, let me check this. Oh my days. If I get Mubama, let me see. Yeah, so if I was willing to go without cash, I mean, I wouldn't have had cash then, right? So it's still a sacrifice, although probably not as bad a one as getting rid of Trippier. If I hadn't sold Trippier, I could have afforded Areola and Shikoja, Gabriel, Pau Torres, Taylor, Trippier, Simicas. So I'd have Trippier instead of Gay, Saka, Salah, Son, Mitoma, Palmer, Watkins, Haaland. How did I miss that? Have I made a massive mistake there? Have I made a massive mistake? I think I've made a massive mistake. Yeah, Strakosha Mubama. What would my bench have been? My bench would have been like 2. I think that's a little bit of a mistake. That I think that's I would have had Son, Salah, Saka, Haaland, Trippier, and Watkins, but no cash. Oh sugar. So everyone has 1 year where there's a blip and they do absolute dog. Just accept this is not your year. No, something's not. Oh man, yeah, I think I've messed up. I wish I hadn't realised that now. I need I need cash to go mad now to make me feel better about that. I'm just double checking that. I think that's correct. Yeah, because I had 6.7 million for Trippier, now he's 7. No, it's not a mistake because I sold Trippier for 6.7. Now he's 7, so I'm having to pay 0.3 more, and I'm 0.3 off. So that is correct. Mitoma, Mubama, Shikoja. Oh dear. Oops. I mean, I can still afford it now. No, I can't afford it now. Stop messing. Stop messing. This is going to bug me now. We've got 17 minutes to lock in my actual wildcard. Now I'm worried about what I could have done. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I don't know if I would have done it, though. Surely. No, I bought Trippier at 6.5. He's gone up to 7, so I had 6.7 million when I sold him. He's now 7 million, so that's 0.3 down from selling him, right? So I sold him at 6.7, buying back at 7. So 0.3, and now I'm 0.3 off that. I think that might be a mistake. Do you have a mic on your keyboard for extra audio drama, or is your keyboard from the 90s? No, I think I just got it. Don't stress, sometimes these work out for the better. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the thing is in this case, I mean, look, yeah, no, in this case, I think it's a genuine mistake. Because Shikoja is not an issue, I don't think. Right? I think you just play Areola. Mubama instead of Archer is not a big deal, I don't think. I mean, it might end up being fine. So really, it's just Pau Torres instead of cash to get Trippier. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. Oh, that is super annoying. Yeah, that's super annoying. I don't know. Would I have done it? I don't know. Maybe not. But I think the fact that I just missed completely that I could afford it is a mistake. I think it's because I had Bowen in my team for so long. I hadn't really considered Mitoma enough. I don't know. Anyway. I'm lost where I am now with the questions, by the way. I think I got quite close to the bottom, actually. Diaby or Alvarez? Diaby this week. Is there anyone out without Saka like me? Quite a few people, yeah. Luis Diaz, Madison to Saka, Diaby. Yeah, I like that. Unsubscribe new member, thank you very much. Jandra, Madison and Neto to Bowen and Matoma, no hit. It's okay, yeah. Maguire instead of Power Torres will get you there. Yeah, but then I've got... Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would. But then no Villa defender. That's mad, right? No, I don't think I can do that. Gabriel, Trippier, Simicas. Haaland, Watkins, Son, Salah, Saka, Trippier. I mean, a bench of Strakosha, Mubama, Gabriel, and Maguire and Taylor is asking for a lot of trouble. I can't believe yeah. Anyway. I'm part of. Sorry, I just swore. I've got to do my actual team. Stop messing around with what could have been. How did I miss that? You've put me off now. You've put me off my stride. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Zoidberg. Basically, I sold Trippier. It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter. It's done now. I don't want to keep going over it. I will... Yeah. Yeah, it's done now. It's done. I've got to choose my actual team now. Oh, Praz has got the old Nketiah in. I'm tempted to go Nketiah as well, or João Pedro. The site is crashing. I hope not. We've got 13 minutes. By the way, don't put any more super chats and stuff in now. I've got 13 minutes to lock in my wildcard. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Watkins and Nketiah for Alvarez and Højlund -4. Probably not, to be honest. I mean, short term it could be good. I don't know if I want... I just don't know if I want João Pedro and Mitoma. They could easily... Or Nketiah. I feel like with Nketiah, like if Gabriel Jesus is back before the Burnley game, like if Gabriel Jesus is back in 15 days, it's going to be annoying that Nketiah misses Burnley at home. Yeah, I don't know about Udogie. I'm not really seeing anything about him. Hopefully having the extra players on the bench will work out better in the long run. But, yeah. Is Trippier Irish? Don't think so. He's played a lot of games for England. Pedro better on pens. Always go with the guy with pens, right? I mean, look, Nketiah's not guaranteed to start either, I guess. But I think he will. You say it doesn't matter, but we all know you're going to go on about it for the rest of the season. I won't. I'll try not to anyway. I'll try not to. Try not to bore you with it. I'm super... I don't know what I'm doing. I want to see... I don't know what I'm doing. That's like the... That is basically me all over. Oh, the old joke... Yeah, everyone's... Yeah, I am Irish. I'm not Irish. I don't know what to do. Is it crazy to go Mitoma over Diaby? Diaby's definitely starting, right? He was benched in Europe. So he's definitely starting. Is Mitoma definitely starting? And for the next three, they're both pretty good. Diaby with strong bench or Bowen with weak bench. I'll probably go slightly stronger bench. I know I've got 10 minutes left. I know, that's why I'm panicking. That's why I'm panicking. I'm just trying on João Pedro for size. If your dog is injured, would you transfer out bottom of Simicast for a -8 just in the hope he gets a clean? I have no bench and I'm already on a -4. If you got no bench, maybe, but we're not going to find out about it, dog. I'd probably just risk and play him and just hope for the best. But I really don't know. I really don't know. Right now I've got João Pedro in my team and I'm on 3-4-3. If he doesn't start, I mean, to be fair, like I know he played in Europe. He only played 64 minutes against Man City, 45 against Villa. But then I guess that's like a bad thing for why he's not always going to play. How long is Gabriel Jesus out for? That's what we need to know. I don't think a huge amount was said about him though. Like, just that he's out for a few weeks, right? Like, what's a few weeks? You have less than 10 minutes. I know. Don't put any more super chats in now, honestly. What game's on tonight? Palace versus Spurs. De Zerbi's worse than Pep, but they got so many. They got so many injuries, right? Actually, these are the things. Like, I just feel like, have Brighton got another Europa League game this week? Oh no, they got a week off after this. Oh, so there's no Europa League. Well, that's interesting. Got a whole week off before that Ajax game, which they've only got one Europa League game between their next 3 matches. No Europa League. No Europa League. Why was I checking that? I can't even remember. Like the thing is, Evan Ferguson then will probably be fit to start against Everton, which means then will João Pedro be saved for Ajax? Like, Evan Ferguson could probably play now and then next week, right? Which means João Pedro is vying for that number 10 spot, and Ansu Fati can play as well. I just know I'm going to hate myself for putting João Pedro in. I just know. Thing is, he gets benched this week, and then worrying he's going to get benched against Everton as well. And then all of a sudden, I'm just like every other game week 1 person that had it in. Matoma's in. I'm talking about going with João Pedro as well. Raptor has said that Udogie was spotted coming off the bus. Interesting. Do. I really wish we knew if Jesus is going to be out for like a month. I would just go for Jesus. You have spent the last 9 weeks telling us not to go with João Pedro and Barge because of his minutes, but there are a lot of injuries at the moment. There are a lot of injuries. He's going to get benched against Fulham. No, in Jesus probably won't be out for a month. 6 minutes. This should really be locked in already. Let me just put Archer back in. A second. Because if I put Archer back in now, I've got 1.4 million to spend. I could just leave it. I could just leave it at that. I could just bank 1.4 million. Well, I could upgrade Palmer to anyone that's 6.3 or under. I could get Douglas Luiz. I'm not getting Douglas Luiz. I am not getting Douglas Luiz. Could get Neto to the Palmer. I don't think in the short term João Pedro stops me. I don't think in the short term João Pedro stops me getting any other player that I might want. But I'd just be so annoyed if he gets benched because Palmer's going to play, right? Palmer is going to play. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Now I'm looking at Maguire instead of Taylor. I'm not going to reveal till deadline because I'm tinkering. I just don't know what I'm going to go with. I mean, I can show. Nah, I'll just leave it to the end. I don't know what I'm doing. Palmer will start. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. Be surprised if he doesn't. Suspect it'll be him on the right and Sterling on the left, right? Taylor hasn't gone up in price, has he? He's not 4 million. No, okay. I could just go with 1 million in the bank. The thing is, I think Burnley have actually got some players, got some fixtures where I might want to start him soon. I think his minutes are probably more secure. Like Sheffield United at home in 14, maybe. On and off, there's some good fixtures. Maguire, I mean, is Maguire worth 0.1 million over Taylor? 0.3 million, probably not. That 0.3 million could be used to get bloody Trippier back. And the most organised and detailed individual content creator out there, but it's so disorganised and last minute with his own team. I know, it's always the way. It's always the way. I think I'm going to stick with Taylor instead of Maguire. Cheap as possible. Yeah, I agree. If there's any time to get João Pedro, it's now. But I mean, I still have 0.6 million in the bank with him in the team. So I'm not like super stuck for money. And look, I've got Salah, Son, Saka, Haaland, and Watkins. I've got the 5 main players apart from bloody Trippier. So what move am I going to need to do soon? And if any of them need to go, they're going to free up money anyway, right? It's just I haven't seen any Spurs team news, by the way. I haven't seen any Spurs team news. Do I just bank the money, or do I get João Pedro and bench Palmer? Do I just bank the money and get him instead? That is now the dilemma, right? I'm gonna go with Matoma, I think. Udogie, according to who is Udogie not starting? You need to put a source in. Don't point just saying it. Maguire will come in handy from next week. But I've got Gay though, so he also comes in very handy, I think. Maguire though, but the thing is, if Maguire does really well, I'm going to be gutted that he doesn't have him. I didn't have him. The FPL site hasn't crashed as far as I know. Right now it's looking pretty good. Maguire's not in right now. I've gone for Taylor. I've gone cheap as possible for that spot. What's his name? My mates are in the group chat moaning that I'm... mates I've known for like 20 years are moaning that I'm hiding players on the stream. Get out, lads. Get out. Get out. I think I'm going João Pedro. I'm on right now. I'm on 3-4-3 with 50 seconds to go. I'll tell you the team with 50 seconds to go. I'm just... I mean, you can see it here. I'll just refresh it, right? I'll just get rid of all this stuff. So this was the team that I started the stream with. But this is what it looks like right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not the right team. Jesus Christ. Did you see what I did? That's what I'm on. Oh, he's not going to start, is he? He's not going to start. I'm going to regret that straight away. I think the rest of the team is fine. Like, João Pedro is my one risk. But I'm benching. Palmer's on penalties as well. Yeah, Nketiah. If I thought Jesus was out for longer. Okay, what? That's it. We're locked now, I think. João Pedro. Oh my God. I'm going to regret it. I guarantee you I'll regret it. He'll get benched this week and I'll be sick of him already. But if he gets benched, I don't know. Jesus is out for a few weeks, yeah, but I think when he was questioned a bit more, he said that Partey's out for a while, but he didn't say the same about Jesus. Ugh. Bad team. I know, terrible team. Terrible team. The one thing to bear in mind, right, is if I hadn't gone João Pedro, I would have Archer and I'd be playing Palmer. So all I've really done is spent a bit more money on my bench and I've played João Pedro instead of Palmer. Like, the rest of it is all the same as it would be. So it's a perception thing. Like, everyone now is saying it's a terrible team. If I had Archer and played Palmer, people probably would be saying it's fine. So I'm not really sure what you want me to say, really. Udogi's not starting, apparently. According to who, though? People keep saying that. People keep saying that. The fact he's not even played yet and you're already annoyed at him doesn't sound good. I agree. Waste of a wild card, to be honest. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Love all the comments, as always. You benched a penalty taker? Yeah, to start a different one. It's just Mitoma and Pedro versus Archer and Bowen. Well, the thing is, I think I was going to go with Mitoma instead of Bowen anyway in the end. Same team, but I went with Nketiah. Yeah, Nketiah, honestly, could be good. Could be good. See you later, Nathan. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Could be a lot worse. I've got 0.6 million in the bank as well. But I know that the reason I said thank you very much to Nathan is because I know he was joking. Well, he might not be joking, but it wasn't. I know from him it's in jest, even if he does think it's a terrible team. You're screwed. I'm screwed. Yeah. I'm honestly. Season's over already. Didn't wildcard in Game Week 8, so it was already over. Honestly, so many people have already won the first Game Week 9 trophy. Yeah, hypocrites calling you boring, now saying the team is bad. Honestly, I said this I went on a podcast the other day, the FPL script, and I basically said you've just got to ignore all the comments for the most part, because if you put one player in, people will say it's terrible. You put a different player in, half the people like that new player, half of them hate it. It's just no point, right? I've got to not be boring, but as soon as I make one non-boring pick who's a little bit risky, that's bad. Team, season over. Just got to ignore it. Can't believe the essential Almiron didn't make the cut. I think the team's pretty good. I mean, how many changes did I make in all? One. So all three of my outfield bench are different. Watkins, João Pedro, Mitoma, Salah, Saka, Gabriel, Cash. No, Cash was already in. Simicast, Areola. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 changes. But obviously, the team was already looking pretty good, so we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. Why am I so bothered by the comments? I mean, I'm not really. I'm just talking about them. Boom, boom. By the way, when I say the season is finished, I'm messing. That's what people always say to me. I have one bad week. It's like your season's over. You can never return from this. You can never return from this. Anyway, if you enjoyed that rubbish stream, make sure to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Play your own game. Don't listen to the noise. Yeah, it's easier said than done though when you got thousands of people like chatting to you. But yeah. What's my team value now? Well, I mean, it's 101 with 0.6 in the bank. But obviously, it would have changed because I sold some players that have gone up in price and stuff like that. I think if I wildcarded today, having not done it on Saturday, the team would have cost an extra 0.5 million. So I guess I've made 0.5 million. But one of those players was Bowen, and I've not got him. So I don't know. What are the future moves other than Mitoma to Mbeumo in Game Week 14? Honestly, no idea. We'll see. You could have had Madison, Archer, and Maguire for Mitoma, JP, and Gay. Yeah. But I just there's a part of me that just wanted Brighton players for their fixtures. I know it's a risk, and there's already a little bit of regret. But right now, it looks good. It's done now anyway, right? I'm not saying you should ever just get rid of a wild card so it's gone, because it's one of the most important chips, if not the most important. But I do find sometimes when the wild card is gone, I almost focus a little bit more, because I can't now wild card out of anything. So I've got to I don't know. I don't know. Maybe focus is the wrong word, but I don't think it's easier without a wild card. But you haven't then got to bail it out, so you just make. I guess you tend to make less risky moves, and therefore less things go wrong. Maybe, I don't know. Did a double Aston Villa defender option tempt you? Yes, but when you get to Game Week 13, it gets a bit tricky. Then that's what I've gone for. Gate. Did Golden Retrievers shed much fur? Our car, we got a rug. It gets vacuumed 1 or 2 days later. It's just full of hair again. You've done well with that meager team. I don't think it was that bad in the end, to be honest with you. I think a lot was made about team rally and Game Week 8. I think it was wildly overblown. I mean, there will be Game Week 8 wildcarders with better teams than this, but there we go. Each transfer feels more impactful because you don't have a safety net. Yeah, and I think rolling a transfer, for example, becomes a little bit more valuable now, because obviously if you know you've got a wild card coming soon, you can be a bit I don't know what the word is, but you can just make more single transfers, right? Now you're probably gonna just roll and go with that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna leave it there. If you enjoyed that, make sure to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'm just thinking, actually, sorry, what games are on this weekend? Fulham's not on TV, which is annoying. Brighton's not on TV, which is annoying. The Arsenal game is tomorrow, though, on Sheffield against Sheffield United. That's on TV in Ireland, so I'll see if I can catch that. And I can't watch Wolves versus Newcastle because I don't have Trippier anymore. Right, I'm off. Enjoy your weekends. I'll see you again on Sunday for the disaster points, probably. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll catch you Sunday.